Hey guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel. My name is Jack.F. I'm a freelance videographer, photographer and video editor, producing weekly content helping you take your video editing and videography to the next level. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Today we've got a bit of a special guest on the channel, a bit of a special episode on the podcast. Reece Evans, our Evpro.
Hello, man. Hi everyone, what's up, what's good? My name's Evpro, as Jack said, and
So jumping straight into this. So, who are you? Like, how did you get the name Evpro? Like, what's your background in the video world? And
so I guess stage name, alias, is Evpro. It originates from when I first started out doing video. I went under company name of like EV Productions, and then as time went on, I started to do seasons. It was like, okay, how could I shorten it? And then I was walking through. I was going to a gig. I was in a gig in a nightclub in Mali. I was doing seasons abroad, and I walked through the crowd, and one of the hosts, a good friend of ours called Local, shouted on the mic, "Yo, man, like Evpro," and I was like, "Done, Evpro," and it just stuck. And yeah, it's been
it was amazing.
Evpro ever since, and I'm gradually trying to just put everything under. Evpro is me, as in like. You know, you got like Eminem is Eminem. It's like that.
Like a generalised.
That's their name. That's their name in the scenes.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. So, like, what got you into the video space? Like, what's your background in that? Like, from start to where you are now.
So I've always been interested in video. My dad used to always record every Christmas. Me and my brother opening our presents. He'd always record it. Set the JVC camera up at the side. And
proper old ones.
Yeah, and like the little mini DV tapes.
Yeah.
So we were always around that, and then. I started, when I was old enough, I started to make like videos of that, like stuff over the park, or like make little mini film studios in like our spare room, and just used to play around with it. And then when I went to, we went on holiday one time, and my dad treated me to a camcorder, and then that was from when it really started to I started to make like YouTube films of it, YouTube music videos, and it just sort of went from there. And then I was studying it. I sort of moved a bit into music, started to DJ when I was like 16 to 18 years old. Sort of video was still there, I was still studying it. And then it wasn't until I left sixth form and went to college, and I tried to get the radio course. They didn't have enough people on it. They're like, oh, well, we've got space on TV and film. I was like, well, that's like perfect.
Yeah. And
then that was the stepping off moment for my life, I guess, in the way that we had access to so much of free equipment, and so I used all their equipment and built a business on the side, much to my teachers' disgust. They were happy with it in the end. I got to finish. I left college like 2-3 months early.
Yeah.
It was a diploma. I got a merit. They were super happy, and it was cool, man. I built a business out of the free hire equipment. So.
Oh yeah, I mean the first couple of nightclubs I did, they don't know this if they're watching this. Don't come for me. I took that little kind of like Canon. I don't know what the entry level Canons are, but I took them and went to a nightclub, and there was lasers everywhere. Thank God they didn't go straight to the sensor.
Oh my word! Like the cameras I was hiring, because we were hiring, obviously, as you'll know, someone's at uni or college, like. You only have available that week, and you can often only pre-book the week of. And I was pre-booking. Like 1 week I'd have a DSLR, then I've got like a massive Sony Handycam. I remember filming this day party in this tiny 200 venue, sweat pouring off the walls.
Proper sweatbox.
With a light on top of this camera, and then I duct tape a fisheye lens onto it because the mount wouldn't fit. Bro, it was so like. Guerrilla style, but
that's a graft though, isn't it? When you start,
I love it though. Like even to this day, I like the Zoom recorder I use on all the gigs. The screen's cracked, so you can't see the levels. So I just say, like, the tour manager we tour with, I just go like, just put everything on 2. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, just put everything on 2. If it's on 2, I know it records fine. It's very guerrilla, and I should just invest the money, but. If it works, it works.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of the video side. Do you do photo at all, or like the?
So I taught myself how to do photos, mainly because when I was doing my seasons abroad in Mali, I bought a flash gun. It was like, I've got it off Amazon, like, the cheapest one I could get, I think it was like 50-60 quid. And I thought, in between the days that I'm not going to be filming a video every single day for the nightclubs in Mali. So if I could learn how to do pictures, I can probably add like another €200 on my wage each week.
Yeah.
That's literally what I did. It was like, I had obviously all the lenses, and I just worked it out, and I just like, messed around with the settings and stuff like that, and just made it work, and I just taught myself, and then gradually over time, like I've tried to hone in a little bit better. I tended, a lot of mine don't really tend to be using like flash guns or using flashes, so I try to get everything natural and natural light, which it takes a hit obviously, but I can do it. I'm not as good as I am on video, but if someone's like, can you do photography? I can do it. It's not.
So let's talk about your season abroad. Like, how did you get into that kind of space of doing international work in Mali and stuff?
Yeah, so doing seasons abroad for me was the biggest. It is the best thing I could have done, and I actually, it's changed. The landscape has changed a lot now in terms of people going to do seasons. But I would implore anybody who wants to be a DJ, videographer, creative, even just a normal person in a normal job, go and work a season abroad. The people you meet, the network you build is just incredible. So I started off, I did my first season in Magaluf. I wanted to go over and do a video. It basically didn't happen. I was a PR though, but the people, I went out with a company, and I got really, really friendly with the reps, and I started living with him, and he was just like, oh, the manager of the company's coming over next week. Like, why don't we pitch to him about doing a video, like a promo video for the company? I was like, yeah, that'd be great. Like, that's what I want to do. Did the promo video, really, really good video, smashed it. They hadn't had anything like it before. Didn't hear, obviously summer ended, didn't hear nothing for months. And then I was on holiday, I think it was maybe like might have been, I'm trying to think. It was quite a few months later, and I got a phone call just saying, hi, how would you like to come out to Mali next summer and just be a videographer? We'll pay you a fixed wage, your accommodation's paid for, and you film like our events, our bar crawls, boat parties. I was just like, this is perfect. Like, this is perfect. I wasn't that bothered that it was a new place. I was sort of not done with Magaluf at that stage, but I'd done that, and I was going into my second season. I knew what to expect as a season worker. So I just went and did it. Had a fantastic summer. Should have saved way more money, and I didn't. I didn't come home with a penny. And I was on good. I was on like €300 a week, which out there, like most PRs were paid at the time like €20 a night. And I'm on like 3 times that, and I was pissed it all away. But so we did that for a year. It was great. Got the word out, sort of people. I made some good connections that summer, but the people I was working for, there was quite a divide between them and everyone else in the resort, which just like it just happened. They were the new people on the block. A lot of people, they'd rubbed people up a little bit the wrong way. So the next summer comes around, everyone's gone back, and after 3 weeks, that company's folded. They've had to leave. And by this point, I've become quite friendly with a lot of the DJs there, because going out to the clubs and stuff. And I was speaking to her, I said, like, I really don't want to have to go home. Like, he's like, bro, like, you know everyone here. Like, you can put the feelers out, and you can get enough work to do this by yourself. You don't need to be paid by a company. And I went, yeah, okay, I'm going to give it a go. So I gave it a shot. There was someone already running a lot of videos in that space. They were running a YouTube channel, and it was the only person there, so they had it was like a monopoly for them. And they came to me on the second. This all happened in 3 days. So on the first day, I went out, got a couple of bits of work. Second day, he's like, heard you're leaving this company. The company's going, you're staying. Let's have a talk. So we go for a meeting. He's like, I want to pay you X amount. He basically wanted to pay me like a fifth of what he was charging the clients to not do any work. And I was just like, no, that's not going to work. And I remember his split words were, you will not be successful without me. And the minute he said that was the worst thing he could have said. Because I just smiled and went, okay, cool, like, no worries, like, I'll have a think on it, let's chat. I didn't. I actually hung that up, and that night I went through and secured every single bar and club on either video or photos on a weekly basis, and I wiped him out. He has no more work there. So, him saying that...
regrets that, doesn't he?
him saying that, I at the time, I undercut, but my quality was so much higher than his, even back then. And although I should have charged more, it was more of a point in the state. The minute he said that, I was like, all right, now I'm going to prove you wrong. You've made a real big mistake saying this. I'm now going to prove you wrong. So I did that. That led in. Had a really, really good summer. There was a lot of like artists coming over that summer. So people like Joel Corey, Ashley Kane, DMO, Nathan Dorr, and it's like I'd film them the night before for the club. I'd be quite paddy with them anyway because we're just all the DJs are like together with them.
Yeah.
Next morning they're coming on the boat party. Okay, cool. Let's have like 5 photos ready for them to post.
Yeah.
And I did that with every artist and just started to capitalise. When I come back from that summer, I think I'm trying to think, 2015 was it? I'm pretty sure that summer, so I'd made some connections through that point, but I don't think I was full-time at that point. I'm trying to, it's a little bit, I did my first ever summer in 2013 in Magaluf. I did my second one I did Malia in 2014. Yeah, 2015 was the time I went back and I was a bit like, I can make a shot out of this. Like this is possible. Like I can really give this a go. And then so that summer, I think I got to know a lot more, even just the workers, the industry. At the end of that summer, I don't know if I had gone full time actually by that one, but I'd made lots of connections and I'd started to get a couple more jobs here and there. And then I think it was by my third summer in Malia or second. I've got it. It's all on my phone. If I see it on the dates on my phone, I'll know when it was. But then one of the summers, essentially, I remember waking up halfway through the summer and just thinking, I can do this full time.
Yeah.
Like
you just get that gut feeling, don't you?
It was that gut. It was like that moment, and I've explained this before in a YouTube video I did ages ago. Like knowing when to go full time, I feel like it is just a gut feeling. It was a risk, but I was like, okay, well I know from summer I can save up. I can probably come home with about 3-4 grand. By the time and I was working my arse off in Mali. It was very like, this is the grind time. Like every single day, if I'm doing photo, I do like double events, triple events, just really capitalising, getting that money in, so that I would have a buffer, so that when I go back, I'm all good. Come home and then it was just the job started materialising. I'd like do a 3-week run in like Leeds. I'd get like tapped in with like the promoters there, do some bits for them. Then I got a phone call from like someone I'd met in Malia, like a DJ, Jordan, and then he was like, oh, I do some events in Cardiff. Can you come down Saturday? Yeah, okay. And all of a sudden it was like everything was starting to fall into place.
It's a snowball, isn't it? Once you get going.
Then like Joel, and obviously when you're doing that, then I'm putting out more work. And then Joel Coy's like, yo, bro, I'm doing like a 4-day tour. Do you want to come on it? Like, yeah, okay. And then even Ashley Kane, like, oh, like we're filming, or DMO's, we're filming on birthday. There's loads of people there. Through him, I met Yanamize. Then Yanamize, like a year later, I'm filming Yanamize's birthday party. Like, all of a sudden, it's that as you say, the snowballing effect, and the network I have through it's incredible. Like because of working abroad, I now know someone in every single city in the UK, which is it's fantastic to know. But it really enabled me. I was just putting out so much work, document everything, like little like and then the summers after that. I then started to get bookings in other resorts.
Oh, okay.
So it then got to the point where I was doing essentially almost what like these tour DJs are doing. I'd go I'd use Malia as my base. I'd fly, I'd be in Marbella like Fridays and Saturdays. Then I'd fly, the routing was horrible, the logistics was a nightmare. But then I'd fly to like Zante, I'd do 3 days in Zante, then I'd fly from Zante to Ayia Napa, I'd do a couple of days in Ayia Napa, and then like back round to Malia. So like through the space of summer, I was literally touring so much. I was like...
I bet you were shattered after it.
I was shattered, but it was always like, and the money was good, but it was also like, it wasn't like amazing, but it was good, but I was getting seen, and so like, and just from my stories on my Snapchat at the time, people were just like, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was even I always remember when it come around to freshers used to be carnage back then for me, like in terms of work, because each city sort of staggers their weeks a little bit. It's like I don't know if it's intentional, but it works out really, really well. And I remember turning up to a gig, and I know Tom Zanetti through like just working leads through his brands that I've done stuff for. And I walked up and seen him, and I had my GoPro recording, and he's just like, blind, he's like, you're everywhere, mate, because I bumped into them like at 4 different gigs where they haven't hired me, like the promoter. He's like, you're everywhere. And I just got in that circuit, man, and I just, was very, I mean, when I remember the first time I went to Leeds, Danny T, I stayed at his, and I thought that was I thought I was decent at video then, and it was I remember exactly. I saw Tom Haig is in my main eye. So I saw Tom Haig's video of a night up there called Project at the O2 Academy, and I was like, I'm shit. Like, this is mental. Like, this guy's at uni, a DJ, and he's doing videography in his spare time. Like, and he's doing this, and it made me step up my game so much. I moved to Leeds for a year, and the competition that was there was just, it was so good. But I'm mates with all of them. It was never like unhealthy. It was very, very healthy competition. But oh man, it made me like level up to a different levels. Like, okay, how are they doing this? Okay, let's do that. Okay, how's this doing that? And it's been doing seasons, man. It's the best thing I ever did. Like the opportunities it set up, just the people you meet and the memories, man, as well. Like,
you get the memories, don't you?
Some of the best memories of my life, man. Like even just sat with the boys outside Petrino's, which is like a after hours bar where everyone goes when the club shuts. Like some of the best memories, man. Like it's some very, very enjoyable years of my life and helped set up my career.
Yeah. So how did you kind of? Well, I guess you kind of answered that. How do you connect with the other creatives, like especially in other cities and stuff? Like, I know there's like events now, but how was it back then? Like, did you just have to go on the events? Oh, video guy, photo guy, move with the artist. Is that how it was?
There was little bits of that. There was a lot of it was Facebook, to be fair. Like Facebook groups. There was quite a few Facebook groups. There was like nightlife and videographers Facebook groups. I mean, until COVID, they were active. Like, you could put a post in there and like. It was like, I need someone for here, I need someone for this.
Yeah.
And I think through my Instagram, back in the days when there was an Instagram API program. It wasn't bots, but it was, what it would do is it was called like Instagress or something like this. Like, so many people in the industry were using it, like big DJs, everything. But what it would do, it wasn't bots. What it would do, you'd select like followers of people you like targeted or hashtags. It would like 2 of their photos, follow them, wait until they followed back and left like a like, and then unfollow them like 4 days later.
Cheeky.
But so it was basically like running it was making
kind of like an automated.
It was automating your Instagram, and it was like, bro, like the engagement was insane because it was all real. It was like real engagement you're getting, and I was like. And I was pumping work out, I was killing it. But I also ran a lot of Facebook ads. Nearly every single post I did, I'd be like, okay, if I wanted to say target, I know I did it with, when I wanted some more work in like Newcastle or other places or Liverpool, okay, I ran targeted ads. I was like, this is my after movie for blah, 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 and just targeted at that city. And I literally just targeted, I was very specific. So I got into Facebook ads really, really early, and this was when it was quite cheap. You could throw £5-10 on it, and it would do well. It'd like triple whatever it was. Yeah. So I did that. Plus, I was on when I was with people like Joel Corey, Ashley Kane. They're doing a lot of like these student runs, and I'm with them, and they're putting me all over this because I become mates with them. It wasn't just a bit.
You've got to become mates with them, otherwise.
It has become a bit of my downfall at sometimes, but. It ultimately is fantastic, not as in a downfall with them, sorry, that's worded terribly, but as in what I mean is a lot of my clients become my friends. Yeah. Which is great and fantastic, but there are also some people that you need to just stay clients, because when you have to have serious conversations, it's very hard because you don't want a friendship to be affected. Yeah. None of that happened with Joe or Ash or anyone like that, but it was just, there's some client, even now sometimes where like, if I'm doing a big corporate gig and then people from that corporate shoot will then like add my Instagram, I'm like, I never really want you. Like back when I was using Snapchat, like I ended up like just making it private because there was people just adding me from shoots, and I was like, I don't want them to see this stuff. It's not relevant. But it was just being active. I think on social media, on Facebook. I was always posting on Facebook. I went for a stage of posting quite a lot of YouTube videos through about 2018, and then followed that up as well on Instagram and tips and tricks. And
well, I actually found you through I think it's your most popular one on your YouTube channel, like tips on shooting nightlife. Yeah, like you and do you know Jack Cole? He's big on YouTube as well, kind of like he was. No. He's got like 400k like in the video space. He doesn't really do it anymore, but I was just on Instagram to like 2018. Like, oh my god, I'd be so cool to shoot nightclubs. So I kind of do nightclubs because of YouTube. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool, man. It's funny, that video, I was doing a 3-month-long video shoot with Gymshark. We were in a bit of a makeshift studio at the time. It was their old warehouse that we'd converted. It was to film all of their fitness app. So they were launching a new app. We got all of the athletes in and we filmed it all. And we had like a stupid rig, like brand new lights that weren't even out at the time. They got shipped in. And we were there until late. It was 9 till 5 shooting, and then I would just stay there doing my own work.
Yeah.
I was like,
take advantage of it.
And I literally filmed that in front of put a black flag behind me and put some colours on and filmed it on like an FX9 or whatever it was. And yeah, just made use of the space.
So yeah, with you coming back from doing seasons abroad and stuff like that, how did you kind of, I know you got yourself out there, but you kind of getting consistent work, but how did you kind of target those high paying clients and getting kind of like the consistent working? Because I know, like, I get work, but most of the time it's not like the best, like it's a fucking nightmare, but how do you kind of like get those higher, more...
I think there's a big...
levels of headache.
I think there's a big misconception with how much people are actually paid in the industry. Like, for reference, I'll actually say, very happy to say, when I first started, I was charging £100 a club video, and that was in my college days. Then when I come back from Malia, I think I pushed it from, during Malia, I pushed it from 150 to 200. Coming back from there, it was about 200, 250, and I did a lot for 250. Then I'd have some clients who were giving me regular work at 250. Then I'd do new work at 300, and then one time I just took the jump and said, I want 400 quid plus travel and accommodation. And you just pick up like little business tips, like learning that you don't say an all-in price. If you break it down, people are just like, okay, it's 400 quid plus travel. Okay, so, and they ask, it's 50 quid fuel. Hour and accommodation. But a lot of clients I was working for had deals with hotels anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So excuse me. So they had deals with hotels anyway, so they could sort that.
Yeah.
And then if not, it was like it was just trying to think of it from more a business point of view. Like when a company gets an invoice, they have the actual fee it's charged, and then there's loads of extras. Even now with corporate gigs, it's like I'll say the fee, and then on top, travel, okay, that could be 207 quid, parking for 30 quid, fuel 40 quid, like food for the day 30 quid. All of a sudden, it's money I've got to spend, but all of a sudden that's all you're like, the actual fee you're charging is the fee you're getting.
Yeah.
And then I think even like club video, I think I was charging about 400, 450 for a very long period of time. And I think like I would hear what other people are charging. Like there was a number of people that I would see as were on my level, and we were all charging about the same. So that's how I sort of knew. Like we never directly say, but I'd hear blah 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 charge us that blah blah blah. I was like, okay, well I know we're roughly the same level.
Yeah.
And then just gradually, I started to sort of take a step back. If someone wants me to do that now, it's a totally different price. But it's a tough one because I wouldn't say I'm that great at pricing. I'd say I'm good at pricing. Even corporate gigs, I think I'm a lot better now. But it's like, if I do a corporate gig, let's say I view my time at £100 per hour.
Yeah.
Okay, so they want me for an 8-hour shoot day. That's 800. Okay, you want me travel? You add on travel. Okay, even that now I wouldn't even do that. Like, there's some corporate gigs now where they want me for half a day, and I'll say, okay, it's 1,500 quid plus travel.
Yeah.
But if you went to a night, like, you just can't. I think people you can't charge.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's this really weird, and I've realised this now from starting to throw my own events, is that seeing a promoter's mindset now, like, there just isn't money. Like, everything else is increasing, and ticket prices are not increasing because people just won't pay it.
Yeah.
So the problem is that promoters are having to pay more money for everything, and the income is still the same.
Yeah.
So I see it from a promoter point of view. Like, even me when I'm trying to book videographers, and let's say I'm trying to get someone, like, my budget is 200 quid. Like, my budget is literally £200. I'm not making profit on the event.
Yeah.
But I need a good video, and it's a really tough one because I feel like there's some people out there who are way overcharging, which happens in every industry. There's some people that are really undercharging. There's a really, really sick videographer called Adam Russell.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
really, really cool man. Like he reminds me so much of like literally my come up and through the scene and how I started. And I said to him, like he did a couple of jobs for me, and I said to him, I was like, bro, you need to charge more because you're charging what I was charging back then, and your quality is way above what mine was for then. So like you need to push that price up. I think ultimately it's, I feel like as you like when you seeing it from our point of view, like from the person charging point of view, you see it as I don't want to charge more, I want to meet people's budgets. I feel like there is a good medium you can hear, but then also the general public will view is, I see it all the time when my friends will like, I need to buy a GoPro or a drone, and they send me the most expensive one. I'm like, why have you, they've picked that because they think the most expensive is the best.
Yeah.
That's just how people are wired. They think the more expensive it is, the better it would be.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to really rethink back to that. It's quite hard to realise that. So, and I think it's also just being confident in your price. Like once you, if you're charging, because the thing is, people, so many people know people like in different fields. So if someone went to me, oh, you want a corporate job doing, they were like, okay, well, yeah, well, like Reece is, or let's say like someone might think Jack's expensive, but we know he does a good job because of the price. Because of that price, it must mean people, if he's charging that, must mean people are paying it, which must mean he's worth it, which must mean, we can get him in to fulfill that job. So I think gradually increasing your price can help. Cold reaching can be good. Sometimes doing like free example, like a passion project. Let's say you want to make, you want to work with a car showroom company. Put something on Facebook. Someone will probably know someone who has a supercar or a really nice car. So I could film your own promo video at your own time, and then you've got a show reel, and then you can like cold reach out to brands. Like if you send 100 emails out, you're gonna get at least one reply.
Yeah, you're gonna get some sort of return.
And so I think, and it's just time. Like I think a massive thing that it's obviously a lot easier now, but it's like back then. Well, I say back then, it wasn't even that long ago, but like 5-6 years ago, you know, we were grinding. Like there's some people, like there's a couple of videographers I know, and they're just like, oh yeah, but I want this and I want that. I'm like, you've been doing this a year.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go full time until I'd done it for like 4 years part time. That's not saying you have to do it for that amount of time, but patience. Like there has to be some patience with it, because with every extra job you do, like you're just picking up experience. You learn. Like, even now, I'm learning so much on different like tips. Okay, I should have presented myself a little bit better for this job. I should have presented myself like this. But I now pick up on it massively. Like I say now I had someone repeat it to me. He's like, I was way over budget for what they wanted, but they said they booked me for it. They're like, because it's not just the end products, it's everything that comes with it. It's the communication on email, it's the delivery method, even like down to, okay, on the day of the shoot, how much did they have to worry about? How much did I take control of? How much did I lead conversations? How much did I direct on the day? All these little nuances that then come down to, they're like, oh yeah, we'll use Reece again for that. Yeah, we'll use Reece for that again. Yeah, we'll use him. Like taking the initiative and
she's like being a good person, isn't it? Actually being someone you want to be around.
And it's just gaining you 10,000 hours. I feel like with time, but also making your own opportunities, like sending cold emails out with examples. Keep it short, keep it sweet. Send a little attachment. Let's say like BMW Manchester, for example. Hey, go on LinkedIn. You can find out where everybody works. Target them directly. Hey, hope you're having a great day. Just wanted to reach out to see if you guys are ever interested in any video creative work to help sell cars or something like that. Below is an example of the work I can create. Would be great to set up a call. Done. 4 lines. It's short, it's sweet. Dropbox link, they can quickly open it, or YouTube link. And you might get a call out of it. You might not, might just be thrown away. But it's not hard to do that to 20 companies. Like it's really not. And if you do that to 20 companies, spend an hour, like you'll get a job back from it, and then you can go higher and so on, and
just keep pushing.
Another great one is ask clients what their budget is. Like I the amount of times I've done it in the last like 2 years where I've gone to say a price and I thought, before I send this price, I'm just going to ask them, so what's your budget on this? And I've even done it in person. In person's even more like, they have to sort of tell, the pressure's there in person. I just asked them, what's your budget on this? I was going to charge them 1,500 quid. They went, £3,000? Bro, I doubled my money.
Yeah.
Like, if I'd put 1,500 quid, I would have so undercut myself. Like, some of these like companies, and especially corporate, it's not their money.
Yeah.
They don't care. A very weird thing is within corporate, they have to spend the money because otherwise they won't get the same amount of budget for next year. So, yeah, it's just there's lots of different things, but ultimately it's just patience, or ultimately is everything coming together. It's just pushing your price up gradually, doing new cold reach outs, putting the work out that will draw in that higher paying client as well.
Yeah.
Believing in what your price is your price at the end of the day. Like, your price is your price. Being confident in that. And I pretty much follow my gut feeling a lot on pricing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll maybe add a couple extra $100 on, but because I know they'll negotiate down and what we settle on, I'll be happy for.
Yeah.
And patience is a key one, yeah.
So on the subject of money, have you ever not been paid? Like, what do you do? What do you do about that?
Yes.
It's a whole subject on this.
Yeah, I did.
What's your process for dealing with these?
So my process now, I have my process pretty ironed out now. It's taken a lot of years, but it's there. So you do the job, etc. Depending on the client, if I've never worked with them before, I will try to take a deposit. I know people will probably come at me saying, you have to. Like, the problem when you're with a lot of these like corporate and record labels and so on is if you set up, they have to set you up as a supplier. That takes 2 weeks.
Yeah,
then they have to pay and you know what? If they wanted to pay the same day, they could. But the problem is a lot of these jobs, they don't see it as a priority to.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is if you work if it's a client where they have to set up a payment order, get that done before the job even starts.
Yeah.
So the payment order has to be done before the job even starts. That basically means it's in their financial system, and you're going to be paid 4 weeks from that date, 2 weeks, whatever it is. Yeah. What I do, my general process, so if it's that, is I'll submit that off. My general process is my payment terms are not 30 days, they are 14 or 15. I will accept 30, but they are set at 15. I do it all through QuickBooks now. It goes out. 2 days later, they get a reminder. A week before, they get a reminder. And then 2 days before it's due, they get a reminder. That's all of it. It's a lot of emails. And I've only ever had one person moan about it. And the reason it's there is because if I don't do it, people won't pay me.
Yeah.
And a lot of my clients are sort of friends, but even on the serious ones, there was a circumstance before Christmas where...
I think I watched your story on that.
Yeah, a record label, basically when they raise a PO, they don't take that. They make out it takes days it doesn't take days to approve. Like, we've seen it done. Someone has to tick 2 boxes. It's not... The job's been approved. Like, the job's been approved and signed off. Like, they need to just do the boxes. That's why it's so important now to get the payment order in before the work starts. So you do that, etc. And then basically, they didn't submit it in time before Christmas break. So I went essentially 8 weeks with no payment. And I wrote a bit of a snotty email to them, but I didn't care. At that point, I was a bit like fuck you at that point.
Well, they've all been paid, you haven't.
So, and I wrote that, and I said it's all well and good. I said it's very well for you guys saying apologies and all this, but you haven't had 8 weeks without payment for this. I said if 3 of my clients do that, I then have no money for 2 months over one of the busiest periods of the year. And I just wrote, you're all paid at the end of every month with no drama. I'm not. I'm relying on you to pay me. And there's a couple of times I've said that to people, and I don't care if they think it's arsey or not. Like, to be honest, I get to that point where I'm very nice with the payment and stuff, but I'm firm. I'm never rude. I'm just firm. Yeah. And if it gets to the point where I really have to, there was a couple of times like through COVID where there was a festival that hadn't paid me for something, and all the COVID crap, mate. Just we can't do this. We've gone into whatever. Then I could see the festival was running, and I literally, the person I was emailing wasn't replying. So I went online, I found every single person that worked there, and I just CC'd in everybody on this one email, and I literally just put, you have 24 hours to sort this, otherwise I'm taking it legal. It was paid in 24 hours.
Yeah, like I recently did an event in Liverpool back end of Feb, and I've literally just been paid about a week ago. Reminder, you know, invoice, and then eligible for action. I always get some. That'd be threat of legal action.
The threatening legal, and there is a way to do it. You can't just jump straight in. I mean, on all my invoices now, on the reminders it says, if you do fail to pay this on time, you know, I will take legal action. And the process, if you want to take legal action, is you basically, and this is my understanding of it, I may be wrong, you have to give them 14 days legal notice, but that's just like that can be an email just saying, this is your 14-day warning that if it's not paid by X amount of date, I'm taking it further. Send another one at 7, then I'll send one 24 hours before. Just letting you know, if you don't do this, I am passing it off to legal. Yeah. And then take it to small claims court.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to that point, like taking someone to court?
I've never had to.
Thank God.
Luckily, I have. There's been a couple of times I've really had to look into the process and be like, okay, what do I actually need to do? So when you do a small claims court, it costs £75 to do it. I've never actually done it, but sometimes if they want to fight it, it could end up costing you a bit more money. But at the end of the day, if you know the case is solid, that's why I say try keep all conversations on email. Don't, as much as they happen on WhatsApp. If they happen on WhatsApp or calls, follow it up with an email after saying, yeah, we spoke about this. I'm just confirming this. This is the date, price, delivery. Like, have I always do an email that basically confirms this is the day we're shooting. This is the delivery date. This is what I'm delivering to you. This is the price. So at any point, it's a one-stop sheet to go, well, this is my half of the contract, and I've fulfilled it, and you haven't fulfilled it. So by doing that, you're then basically, you've got evidence to say, if you do need to take it to court, say, well, look, I did everything, here's the end deliverables, here's the client agreeing to do X, Y, Z, and they haven't paid. The court's just going to go, yeah, fair. Then they have to pay the court. They then can essentially end up with a court order to pay it if they don't pay that CCJ. And that's my understanding. Might be wrong, but luckily never had to get to that. I know a couple of people sent out. They've hired a debt collector to send a letter, which I guess would probably be a good step to do before the court action, before county court, because you can just get anyone to write up to threaten them. It's that's the process. It's an ongoing battle, and ultimately now I try to just get rid of the clients that just crap payers, because what's the point? If it's people, but it's £2,000. Okay, but is it worth it if it's going to take you 6 months to get that £2,000? You might think it is. I don't know, but it comes down to a one-on-one basis. It's really down to the person.
One thing I found, I did a really big event recently. I won't name any names, but still not being paid. It's been like 2 months now. Looks like. But the smaller people, the individual people, they pay on time. They're amazing. And that's just my experience. The larger they are, the more.
Larger they are, there's definitely more hoops you have to jump through. Oh, supplier form, all this, and I've had it before where they're like, "Oh, you're not on our system." I'm like, I am. I've done like 10 jobs with you before. Done. The worst one is Universal Music Group, Uniportal. I hope you never have to use that, because I got to one point where and it had been 4 months, and I just CC'd in everybody I knew who worked at the company with all of the artist team, and I just lost my shit, and I just wrote, "This is a joke." I said, "What is happening with it? All you've got to do is sign off an invoice, which the job's been done, the content's been delivered. Why are you not clearing these funds?" And it was £3,500. I was like, this is pathetic. Yeah. And when they sent other jobs through, I just said no. I said, I'm not working. Oh, we need it. I said, I don't care. I don't give a shit. You can tell that's really it's a really frustrating situation. Yeah, but, it is. It's tough, man. It's I mean, the key thing now is if you're working with record labels or any big company that are going to need a payment order, get it done before the job starts, because it will just save you so much hassle. Yeah.
Do you ever use contracts for any of these, for the bigger ones, or never?
No, I don't think. the only contracts I've had has been stuff like NDAs. I mean, ultimately, I know some people who swear by contracts, but at the end of the day, if they don't want to pay, they ain't going to pay. Like, we've had it actually. We had a client that it was contracted, everything was contracted, but they still didn't pay. So, like, and the company went into administration. Like, it's one of them, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I can't. It's, at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper with a signature. If they don't want to pay, they're not going to pay. And the problem is, even with, like, especially nightlife, is a promoter ain't going to sign a contract. Like, they're just not. Like, I know that's wrong and people coming from corporate, but that's just how it is. They're not going to pay it.
Yeah.
Like, and one thing you can do is you can include, like, when you send over your invoice before you start, get a deposit. It's great. And include in that some terms saying, by paying this or making this deposit, I agree to these terms, X, Y, Z, and then I guess that's a bit of a contract in a way.
Yeah. So I guess we've covered the main stuff I want to talk about, but I guess for the beginners, do you have any tips and tricks, like how they can get started? Like, say they want to get into like the nightlife industry, or tour with a DJ, or like the stuff you mainly do. Like, how can they get into that?
Yeah, so I'd say the best way is if you have a camera. Let's assume you have a camera already. Is go to your local club, go to your bars, whatever. Just firstly get to know the DJs that are playing there. So become a bit of a regular. I know it's cost of living, people haven't got money, but you can go in like for free. Just you don't have to drink. Like, just get to know them. Get chatting. Oh, hey, like, I'm a videographer. Like, it'd be cool to maybe like shoot something for you one time, like for free. Just build up your experience. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing free stuff just to gain a bit of experience. When I wanted to start into weddings, I did 2 weddings for free, and then I charged 500, then $1,000, and then I did enough weddings. I was earning $2,000 off weddings in the space of like 5 weddings. So, but like, I couldn't have got them paid weddings without having something to show, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I essentially I would say that just get out there. Never try and aim, especially if you're starting out, don't aim for the big eyes, because they're just not going to take a look.
And they probably already got someone, don't they?
Do you know, the best thing to do is there's massive under lineups. Like, contact every single person on the line, you know, on the lower lineups, even the people who are opening, and just say, hey, look, I'm a videographer, here's my previous work, I'd love to come shoot something for you for either like £100 or whatever you can commit. A lot of them, like lower artists, if people don't know about festivals, only the headliners are really making good money. Everyone else is sort of just covering their costs. Just because that's just how the festival game works. Everybody wants to be on that festival stage. Even if you offer it for free, at least then you've got a festival video with that artist that you can then use to bounce on, and they'll probably then get you in for more paid work. So that's a great step. Just go through the lineups and try to find artists that you like, that are your vibe as well. Like, I've been very fortunate. Like, all the DJs I work with, I'm genuine fans of them as well. But like people like Nathan Dorr, James Hype, like Joel, like, all of our careers were growing at the same time. Like, my video career took off as their music career took off. It's like, you know, like, they're my boys now, but it's like, I'm genuine fans of their stuff. Like, I see them doing shows, and I'm so proud that they're doing that, if that makes sense. And even like the stuff with like MK, Sonny Fodera, like, I'm fans of their music, I'm fans of them. So like, and I've become very good mates with them as well. So it's just, I think when you have that, when you like the music that they're playing, or like, you really you're cool with that art, as in you're cool with what they do as an artist, you really like what they do, and you're interested in them as sort of a fan side as well. Not to the point where you should never fangirl anyone, but like to the point where you're really interested in their career. That can really help, because you'll make them little extra steps to be like, oh, I think you should do this, I think you should do that.
And they'll appreciate a lot more, they'll get you.
Yeah, and like, I think because I was a fan of MK, is why I did so well with him and was with him for so many years. So I think you just got to try like your local spots, even in not nightlife and videography. Like, hit up all the local but like coffee shops, local restaurants, like little bars, and just say, hey, do you want a video? This is what I can do. Like, just ask. You don't ask, you don't get. Worst thing they do is they say no and you're in the same position. So.
Yeah. So I guess kind of on the back end of that question, what about international work? Would you go about the same thing, like messaging Instagram, finding their personal email, or?
Yeah, and again, just reaching out. I mean, international work's a tough one because obviously if they're going to pay for your flights, the best way when you're starting out is if you're going to be in that area, like plan to be in, say, let's say you're going to be in Ibiza for a week.
Yeah.
You self-fund it. You do what we call in the industry as a landed deal. So where someone literally pays you a fixed fee and then you sort all your own logistics. Yeah. So let's say I did it last summer. I'll go to Ibiza. I'm like, right, I'm going to do a week in Ibiza, pay my flights, accommodation, and then I picked up work every single day I was there. Because I'd be like, oh, hey, Gigi, okay, let's shoot Ushuaia, let's shoot Ibiza Rocks this day. Yeah. Like, and you obviously know your profit, what it's costing you to be there, and you know what to charge to do so. Mm-hmm. And you can work it around that way, which is quite nice. And to get more, it just comes with natural development. The more your career progresses, then you'll probably get people fly you out for jobs and so on. But it just comes with time and the work rate. Yeah. The more work you do, essentially, the closer you're going to get to grow in your career, or the quicker your career is going to grow.
Well, if anyone's watching this and wants to get some work abroad, I'm actually looking for some people for Sunny Beach. So if anyone wants to see some abroad in Sunny Beach, hit me up. I'm always looking for people for that. So I guess last question: what's your future career? Where are you going from here?
Yeah, so it's a bit of an odd one. I'm starting to take a little bit of a step back from video, but not as in terms of the way of actual physical recordings. I'm still doing corporate to pay the bills, but I've really, over the last 2 years, haven't really been that happy with what I've been doing just in my life. There's lots of new passion projects I wanted to try, and I run a brand called DM, which is like a music and creative industry networking event. You've been before, actually got one tonight after this podcast. That's why I'm in Manchester, and also for this pod. So that's been cool to try and like develop more time into that. But also, I've really been doubling down on content. Yeah. I've always felt for years, I'm fortunate that some of my friends work with, people like the Sidemen and stuff, and I've always felt that I'm not at that level, but I've always felt I had a bit more of not a higher purpose, but I could always do more. I was never doing enough. I love being in front of camera, so now for me it's starting to hire my own team. So we're doing a little bit. I'm trying to do some more events, a lot of content. I've been producing music as well, which I love it because there's no like expectations like you have to do this. Like I've got very free control over it. Yeah. And I've been sending a couple of feelers out, and the response has been great. And I'm incredibly lucky that the network I have in the music industry puts me in a fantastic position. Yeah. I'm very aware of that. But I get to sit in like studio. I've just been a sponge for like the last 4 years. Yeah, so I've been like sat in studio sessions with like Sonny Fodera and Biscuits. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's how you do that. Oh, a little bit.
I love it, man. I really, really love it. Like music is such a big thing in my life. Like all my work is based in the music industry, and I love the music industry so much. And just to be a part of it, I've always looked at it as, well, if Idris Elba can be an actor, presenter, music producer, DJ, so can I. Like, there's nothing. I feel like sometimes people try and put people in boxes. It's like, no, I was speaking with my business coach the other day. I'm multi-passionate. Yeah. Like,
I mean, you've got to be in this.
There's lots of things I want to do. I don't just want to be the videographer. Okay, what do I do? Okay, clubs. Yeah, touring. Okay, after that, I'm getting older now, so let's go do weddings. Like, no, sod that, man. I don't want to do that. Like, I know what I want to. Well, I say I know what I do. I'm rediscovering stuff I want to do, and I love it. I'm in a really sort of fortunate. I'm in a very fortunate position where I can do a couple of jobs a month and pay for all my bills, and that allows me enough time to then go. And I'm going to earn less money, and I know that, but I'll be happier. But I'm putting it into projects that could eventually bring in more money. Like even with the events, been trying different events, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe the event stuff isn't so much for me as I thought it was. Whether that's the current event landscape or just me, I'm just like, you know what? Like, and after I was in Miami for Music Week, and since then, it's really made me realise that I really want to create music now and put it out. And I know there's going to be a lot of people, probably people close to me as well, or people that know me for the industry who are like, he's putting out music, and I'm like, what? Like, you're a videographer, like, stay in your lane. And I just, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck you.
Like, what, like, not necessarily fuck them, but like just fuck that. Like, I want to, there's so much stuff I want to do, and when I really apply myself to something, I don't stop. Like, I'm such a perfectionist, like, and I will get something, like, really like, I will put the time in, I will put my 10,000 hours in, like, I will stay up, like, before we had DM the other week in London, that's like my industry networking event, and we had that in London the other week, and I stayed up till 5 AM finishing a track off that I wanted to play there. Like, I know I must have only played it to like 100 people, but it didn't matter. Like, I wanted to get it done. Like, I will put in that effort. I don't watch Netflix. Like, maybe occasionally at weekends I'll watch a film or something, because downtime is important.
Yeah.
But I will stay up and I will put that time in. And I think there's going to be people at first that are like, but I've got that dedication and motivation to put that work in, and no one's going to stop me doing it. So, yeah, man, the future of Evpro is really, really interesting. Like, I'm going to start hiring my own permanent video person to follow me in all the different projects I'm doing.
Yeah. Would you be like a vlog type stuff then, or?
Sort of, yeah, just different content, stuff on TikTok. Sort of like business vlogs, a bit Gary V, like document, like document versus create. Yeah. Just showing people what I do, because I think a lot of times it's just me sat at home at my desk, but sometimes I do some really, really cool, interesting stuff. And yeah, man, lots of different fields, sort of like music, a little bit of events, not too much, but it'd be nice to build the M out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm really personal brand, man. Like, I feel like I've got a lot of value to offer the world, and there's been a couple of times where I've started YouTube and I've stopped YouTube, but I'm like, I'm 30 this year, and to me, I'm like, right, this is your moment, like, go for it now, like, because I know when it gets into summer, it's a nightmare. And yeah, man, the focus is so there right now, and the passion's there, and I'm like, this is it now, like, just go for it. And if it all fails, cool, mate, at least I gave it a shot. Like, some of the events we've been trying haven't been working, I'm like, doesn't matter, cool, I tried it, I know that's not for me, push to the side, let's focus energy on this, let's do that. And yeah, man, just having a bit more fun, because I think COVID really messed my head up quite a bit, and I'm realigning now, and
getting things back on,
realigning and doing it for me. I feel like,
I mean, you've got to, don't you? You can't be doing it for anyone else.
Yeah, I feel like
long term it's not feasible.
I helped a lot of people out in various different things, and I realised focusing so much energy on other people, and even just work and projects, it was like, I haven't given myself any time. I'm not doing what I want to do, so now I'm getting into that realm where I am. And yeah, man, this year should be really, really exciting. Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Cheers.
Thank you. So, if there's anything you want to talk about? Or?
No, just hit me up on my socials. Is at Evpro on everything, with a little underscore, but there is no other Evpros. I am Evpro. Yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because there's loads of new stuff coming on there. TikTok, Instagram, all that jazz, and yeah, thank you, mate, for having me on. I appreciate it. It's been a couple of years since I've done a podcast, and it's nice to get back into it, because it helps you in normal life, even just having like conversations. So yeah, I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. If you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel and check out some of my other videos. Got another one coming out. I did a Q&A with you guys, so that's going to be out probably about 2 hours from now. So yeah, check that out, and thanks.
Remember, like, comment, and subscribe.
Make sure
like for the algo. We like that algo. Leave a nice little comment of what you want, what videos you want to see from Jack in the future, and yeah, hit that subscribe button and turn bell notifications on. Come on, support him, support the gang.
Thank you.